to What We Wrote. I am Emma.
And I am Esme.
And we are two friends who have been writing together for decades. In this podcast, we go back and read some of our terrible teen writing in all of its angsty and melodramatic glory. I got stuck there for a second, but I made it.
You made it through. It's a little bit like how we feel getting through this book.
Start strong, wavers.
Yeah.
Come through with a bit of excitement, wavers again.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, last chapter,
Nothing.
basically just back to,
Back to form.
yep,
Went to the pub. Cori's decided that
Cori-
she's going to be an arsehole to be friends with.
yep. Well, clearly it works, so, that's all that can be said, really. There was this massive, incursion.
Yeah,
fight.
the battle.
Yeah.
I mean, it was over pretty quickly at the point.
And then nothing. Kane is
Bleeding.
unconscious somewhere, we don't really care.
No. Nobody else was hurt.
No. Well, no, except for the people in the car.
People dying in the car. No, the dying people.
The
on
dying people
stretchers.
were made to walk. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there doesn't seem to have been any repercussions. It's not even like the keep is locked down or anything.
No,
they just left.
The tavern is still open for business.
Yeah. Half of your wall has fallen down.
Yeah. Oh, people got a drink.
I guess. I don't know.
It is an essential service.
I guess. It's just all feels very anticlimactic, I guess.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean,
we kind of set something up and then just dropped it.
just bailed on
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I really would have liked to see maybe Cori and Vari spend longer helping
Yeah.
with the injured.
Being involved
Being
in some way.
involved some way.
Again, it feels a little bit like the story is happening to someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
We're following the wrong characters.
Absolutely. And I mean, the thing is,
Like, I actually, you know what I feel like? I feel like Kane was supposed to be the main character.
yes.
And he's barely in the book.
Yes. Genuinely.
Yeah.
And like, even with the battle, like, if they had have been, I don't know, on the outer wall or in the city somewhere when the battle started, we could have had it actually impact our characters.
Yeah.
Our point of view characters.
Yeah.
Like, they just stood on a roof on the keep
Yeah,
and watched
just-
it happen.
Just got out like a bowl of popcorn and was just like, huh.
Exactly. They're just sitting there like, the battle.
What happened?
And like, you could have had, if they had been in the part of the city where the cannons first hit the walls, like,
Pretty
you could have
exciting,
really,
yeah.
leveraged the, like, the
injured one of them,
panic
could
and
have-
the chaos
yeah,
and
just-
there's dust in the air and everybody's running and screaming and bleeding.
And then, they're like viscerally impacted by
Exactly.
it. And,
Yeah.
they would actually have to, I don't know, deal with it.
Participate in the story.
Yes!
Which really they're not doing.
No.
Like, it feels like we're trying to make the story happen. The character's
The
going,
character's nah.
not interested.
Seems like a lot of work. Yeah.
It seems like somebody else's problem.
Yeah, literally. Yep.
And that's really not how story's supposed to go.
Nope.
Well, I guess let's find out if there are any repercussions
Yeah.
from this battle whatsoever.
Let's see what happens next. You're right.
Cool.
We just gotta dive in, guys.
Yeah.
Just gotta do it. You're right.
Musical interlude.
Musical interlude.
Off we go.
Oh, it's just, we do that thing where we just like cut it in the middle of the scene.
Yep.
And we just pick up immediately. So in case you've forgotten, like,
they're at tavern.
they were just at the tavern. What's her fucking name? Cori. I was gonna call her Ella. Cori just told Bran to shove it up his ass. And now we're switching to Vari, just so you know where we're at. Chapter 15. Vari. I came back with 3 mugs of ale and I dumped them unceremoniously on the table. I used a semicolon.
Correctly?
No.
This is a pet peeve of Ezra's, if you didn't know. She fucking hates semicolons.
Surely that's a mistake and it's not meant to be a semicolon.
They're for decoration.
Well, I'm thinking it's just a comma and it happens to have a dot above it.
I think you're reaching.
I dumped them unceremoniously on the table, chuckling quietly after overhearing her last sentence.
See, this is what I mean. Like, she's just... Oh, well, okay. She overheard us. I was going to say, this is why we think she's psychotic, because she's just laughing all the time.
That's the way, Cori. Down with proper language, I cried, sitting down next to Bran and pushing a mug towards her as I took a mouthful from my own. Cori scowled foul-temperedly at me. If I ever start speaking like you, please, for the love of Toria, kill me. Jesus.
Cori's in a real shit mood.
I know.
What made her get so pissy?
I don't fucking know.
Was
Bran? She was just talking to Bran. That seemed to do it. Bran asked her if she was okay.
Oh, they had the whole "it's complicated because you're a bastard" conversation. Maybe that's it.
Sure. I saw Bran's brows raise in surprise, and I smirked quietly, turning my gaze back to Cori.
That quiet smirk again.
No. Yeah. That could be arranged, I mumbled, grinning slightly.
Okay. See what I mean? She's a little scary. Like, you're saying Cori's being a bitch by being like, Vari could kill anybody at any second, but this is why.
Yikes!
She's psychotic.
Jesus, alright. I mumbled, grinning slightly. Again with the grinning slightly.
Yep. Small grin.
Yeah.
Tiny grin.
Johnny grin. I turned to Bran and added, what about him? His language suitable for your royal propriety? Propriety?
Yeah, that's the word.
Yep.
Bran has an accent, but he doesn't swear as much as you, Vari.
That's what I think she's getting at.
Yeah.
I asked, turning back to Cori with a smug, questioning look.
She's very smug, Vari.
Cheers.
I hate that.
Yeah. My grin grew as she glowered at me. Not much, but it's better than yours, gutter mouth, she retorted.
Do you like this girl?
I don't think so. I want to be your friend. I hate you. I hate everything about you. I hate the way you talk. I hate what you say. I hate the way you smile.
You're the fucking worst.
Bran and I laughed. There you go, Bran. You'll have to improve your speech before you get in the pants, I joked.
Oh, God.
Bran made a mock disappointed look and took a swig of ale. Cori blushed again. You'd have to do a hell of a lot more than that, she mumbled.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. Bran laughed and nodded slowly. I turned to him, curious about his reaction. I was suspicious of him. Normally, he'd be off with a prostitute by now.
Oh my God.
and yet here he still was. I mean, to be fair, that's what happened last time.
Right, but like, is she implying that like every time she goes out with Bran, he immediately goes with some other girl? Like, what is the point of going out with him then? Even like if,
wingman? I don't know.
Even if Vari and Bran have like a no strings attached fuck buddy relationship, if he immediately fucks off with someone else as soon as you arrive at the tavern, you'd be like, well, you don't need me.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They've been there for literally 3 minutes.
Ah, so you're the romantic type. I can arrange that. He grinned at her, leaning back against his chair and cracking his knuckles.
What the fuck is happening?
Jesus.
I can be the romantic type. Yeah. Flexing his whole fists. Yup, I can be romantic.
Okay. Alrighty then. Cori pouted indignantly and shifted uncomfortably in her chair. Bran, she cried helplessly. No. She stuttered. No,
Bran.
No, Bran. I laughed, curious if she'd be able to say anything else. I heard Bran laugh next to me.
I mean,
That's so good.
I also have to be like, look, we all hate Cori here. But it's a bit much. Like, can you guys talk about anything other than her crush on Bran?
Yes.
Like,
yeah, that's the only thing we
ever
ever
talk about. And like, if I was Cori, I'd be like, can you guys fucking stop it?
Yes.
Like, you are making me uncomfortable.
It's weird.
It is weird. And I'd really love if you stopped making everything about me and Bran.
Yeah.
Like, it is a lot.
It's weird.
It's weird. Why are you guys so obsessed with me?
I know, yeah. Alright then, let's stop taunting it now. This is no fun, he said, leaning forward once more.
Thank you, Bran.
My head snapped around to him in surprise, dramatically dropping my jaw. I cannot believe me ears, I muttered loud enough for all to hear. I'm impressed. Self-control, Cori replied, her face a look skeptical.
Okay.
I thought if I read it again it'd make sense, but it didn't. I laughed and shook my head. Bran, self-control? I snorted, taking a hefty swig of ale. Bran glared at me pointedly, and I grinned at him. Although you can hardly talk, Vari, Cori retorted suddenly. My smile vanished quickly, and I glared at her.
Why are you guys so mean to each other?
No, and I don't even know what that means. Like, what is she referring to?
And can you guys just, like, maybe you guys should I don't know, talk about the fact that your city was attacked today?
Yeah.
There are things that you could be having conversations about that aren't just
who likes who,
ragging on each other, constantly being like, well, you have no self-control, and you're ugly. Well, like, just fucking stop it.
What? He asked, looking from me to Cori. I ignored him, glaring at Cori, shaking my head in warning. Vari has a secret romance with a dashing knight, Cori told Bran excitingly. I mean, she doesn't though. Like,
no,
there's blatant fabrication. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, I can kind of see that maybe Cori is just trying to, like, I don't know, deflect. Like, please, let's tease Vari for a change.
Yeah.
You know, like, let me fabricate this romance with Cain so that we have something to talk about that isn't me.
Bran turned to me, brow raised in skepticism. I sighed heavily and put my head in my hands, my bony elbows clunking against the table. Oh, aye, we're going to elope. Though it's not much of a secret now, is it? I said bitterly. I caught the look on Bran's face and sighed. He never was one to get sarcasm. Is he a bit dim?
Yeah, sarcasm isn't hard.
No.
And also, isn't he supposed to be a bouncing ball of charisma? Like, just give me a second.
Yeah,
isn't he supposed to be charismatic?
I don't know.
Like, if he's charismatic, then he's not the kind of person who's not going to get
sarcasm.
Because if you're charismatic, you are good at social things.
Yes.
And that is a social thing.
Yes.
Like...
I was being sarcastic, I told him flatly, before returning back to Cori. I do not like him, I said, pronouncing every word loudly and clearly. I do not like him, I said, pronouncing every word loudly and clearly, hoping she'd get the message. Cori grinned though, and I could feel my patience snap. You think that now? I can see the passion growing, she said, tauntingly. Bran laughed next to me, and I gritted my teeth. You have gone beyond frustration. She's lost her accent. I hissed at her menacingly.
Neither of us want this girl to have an accent.
My blood way past boiling point.
Right, okay.
Now you know how it feels, she said simply, her face a picture of smugness.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
That's
a fair cop for Cori.
Yeah, fair. I groaned and rolled my eyes, sitting back in my chair and folding my arms.
She can dish it, but she can't take it.
Yeah, apparently. Oh. The rest of the evening passed in a humorous haze.
Never mind.
Cori and I continued to taunt each other out throughout the night. Bran blinking owlishly at us, never quite following our conversation. Why is Bran suddenly
an idiot?
A himbo?
And again, now he's blinking owlishly. Like, that's just a pet phrase of yours, obviously.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the only thing we were drunk on is laughter.
Okay. Because I don't think that any of you were having fun.
No, it didn't sound like it. It sounded like you were pissing each other off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you know that kind of thing where everyone's like, I'm just joking. And everyone's like, fuck you, actually.
I hate you.
Yeah. That really awkward, like, when someone's really, like, obviously pissing you off and they're like, I'm just joking. And you're like
I still hate you.
I still hate you.
Yeah.
Like, that's the vibes this conversation
Yes.
is getting. It's not, like, friendly banter. It's just serving, like...
You are
really pissing me off.
Very annoying right now.
Yeah.
As we walked out of the tavern, laughing about one thing or another, and
couldn't think of what.
Yeah, no. Well, I couldn't. Evidently. An odd thought occurred to me.
Oh.
I'd had the most fun I'd ever had that night, and I wasn't even drunk. It made me laugh to think that in the morning I'd remember every joke that was made, every insult thrown.
Okay.
I looked over Bran to Cori and, to my horror, smiled fondly at her.
To my horror? How dare you be fond of her?
Oh no. Oh my god, I like her.
I have a friend.
Ugh.
Ew.
I wasn't sure if anyone saw it.
Also, that's really giving alcoholic vibes. Like, wow, can I have fun without alcohol?
Alcohol? Shocking.
Oh my god, Vari.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if anyone saw it. In a way, I was glad no one had. I don't think I could have explained the elated and joyously happy feeling I was experiencing at that moment.
You don't need to explain it. You're allowed to just be happy.
You can just be happy.
Like, you don't... Happy is an explanation. If anyone asks, why are you smiling like that? I'm happy. End of story.
Yeah.
I had fun tonight.
It was then I truly considered Cori as a friend.
Oh,
We're finally friends. Like, Cori has been bitching and moaning about this for 135 pages.
Yep.
And Vari is just like, yeah, right.
I give in.
I suppose.
I surrender.
I lay awake that night, unable to sleep. I kept thinking about the evening. In a way, I was confused. Cori couldn't have been my first ever friend. I'd had others before. Bran, for example, was always a good friend. But for some reason, something felt different about this relationship. You think of what I'm thinking?
I think Vari's secretly a lesbian.
Yeah, I think they both are.
I mean, what's really funny is...
Because, like, yes, Cori is, like, very upset about the whole Vari and Bran thing, but maybe it's not the Bran component that she's upset about.
It was just the way she was like, I'd had friends before. You know, Bran's a friend. But Cori's different. It's different being friends with a girl. Like, it reeks of, like, awakening. You know, like, oh, this is different.
Yep. I sighed and rolled over, frustrated, confused, lost within my own thoughts.
Maybe I finally said to you, hey,
can Vari actually like Cori?
Can Vari actually like Cori?
Because this is...
Because, well, it's possible because I feel like that we had conversations like this where I was like, you know, these guys are supposed to be friends, right? And Vari is really not, like, serving on the friendship vibes.
Well, I mean, neither was Cori, though. Every time they spoke to her, they like, it wasn't just Vari. They were both at each other.
Yeah, but Cori... So, I think this is one of those problems where, like, what the character is doing and what the author is intending are not the same things.
Yeah.
Like, the text is very much like Cori thinks of Vari as a friend. Cori loves Vari. You know, she's her first friend. She loves her.
Yeah.
The subtext is, I fucking hate this bitch. You know, like...
Yes, and clearly that's what my character was responding to.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But, like, I can see... Like, I actually don't remember if this happened, but I can see me going to you being like, we're quite a long way in. Can Vari, like...
Be friends
with Cori now? Like, they're supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's, like, literally no reason for this to have happened.
No, none. I woke up the next morning and closed my eyes instantly.
It's like... You're just sleeping with both.
What? I wake up and close my eyes. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't at all.
I woke up the next morning and closed my eyes instantly.
And it's the instantly that gets me. Like, it was the first thing she did was close her eyes. I'm like, were they not already closed?
Oh dear.
Oh.
There is a flow on that kind of makes it make sense, but it's still funny. I woke up the next morning and closed my eyes instantly, expecting the searing after effects of alcohol. When it didn't come, I sat up warily and opened my eyes. For the first in what seemed like forever, the sunshine didn't make me groan in pain. So yeah, she is definitely an alcoholic.
She's absolutely an alcoholic. If she can't remember the last time she didn't have a hangover,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, girl.
Yeah. I laughed once as
Also, I'm sorry. Okay, hang on. Back up. You live on the street. How are you affording to be an alcoholic?
It sounds like Bran's been plying it.
Yeah, maybe. That's unhealthy.
I laughed once as I remembered everything about the last evening.
Yes, we remember.
Yeah, we were there too.
We were there, unfortunately.
Then I remembered the afternoon, and my shoulders slumped slightly as I recalled my meeting with Doc. He's just Doc now, it's his name.
Oh, okay.
I sighed, and actually I think it might have been that the whole time, and I was just adding the in front of it. But I think it's just Doc.
His name is Doc.
Well, that's how Vari refers to him, I think.
Yeah.
I sighed and stood up, throwing my tunic on and combing my fingers half-heartedly through my hair. I went through my chores quickly, giving each horse an affectionate pat before moving off to the next stall and cleaning it. I finished what I thought was the last stall and was about to head back to the feed room where there was a shuffled and a soft waffle from the next stall down that was usually kept empty. I frowned as I walked over to the stall. A note was pinned to the closed door, and I recognized my name on it and unfolded it. I stared down at it, but I couldn't read enough of the words to make sense. The one sentence I could read was not comforting. He's a lively one? Why would she be able to read that?
I was going to say, like, you can either read or you can't read.
Yeah.
And read... I could understand if she could pick out a couple of words.
Yeah, like
but
he.
I can read a sentence.
Yeah.
One sentence from this note.
And like...
That's not how literacy works.
And lively
yeah.
is a hard word.
Yeah.
If you're illiterate.
Absolutely.
It's a hard word if you're not illiterate.
yes.
Lively? Yeah.
I mean, this is clearly Kane's horse, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I assume so.
But again begs the question, if it wasn't there before, where the fuck was it?
I don't know, maybe he had his own stables or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a lively one, I read aloud, my brows creeping higher. I hesitantly reached up and unlatched the top half of the door and gently swung it open. There was a loud squeal, and I swore, ducking out of the way just in time as a large set of gnashing teeth lashed out at me. I looked up from where I was sprawled on the floor and glared up at the door. The bay gelding appeared again at the door, ears laid flat black against his skull, baring his yellow teeth. I hissed in a sudden recognition and stood up, careful to keep a safe distance away.
You can close the door before the horse comes out?
I think she just opened the top half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When it said she opened the door, I assumed that she opened the stable door and was like lying in the laneway.
No, I said unlatch the top half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Antares, I growled. Antares sounds like...
It's a star.
Ah, that's what's really... Thank you.
Or a galaxy.
Which is not... It's galaxy because it's a fantasy land.
It is a cool name.
Antares, I growled.
Wasn't he like quite sweet last time you were...
Well, I think he was very tired because he'd just gone into battle. So he was like a sweaty, heaving mess.
He was there for like 10 minutes, if that.
I mean, I know that's how it read. It probably wasn't actually 10 minutes. It was probably a lot longer. Antares, I growled. I knew I had to feed him. I'd get a thrashing if I left him out of my usual duties. I frowned. Then.
Just chuck a bucket over the door.
Yeah, I frowned then. How could this be the same horse? Yesterday he had been gentle as a lamb. I shrugged and growled, deciding any being would be like that, so after spending more than a few minutes with the bastard. That bastard, I assume, being Kane.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Nope.
Maybe he just doesn't like being stabled.
Yeah.
Horses don't do well in stables.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I decided to feed him first, hoping that if he was distracted, I could duck in and clean out the stable. I came back with a hefty bucket of feed, and I stood outside his stall. Antares saw me and immediately lunged at him.
Okay.
I assume I meant me.
I also think, this is a minor nitpick, but I feel like in most fantasies, their horses don't get hard fed. Like, they mostly just eat hay. In most fantasies.
Sure. I feel like grain's a pretty common thing to feed horses.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, lunged at me. I jumped back slightly, despite knowing that he couldn't get to me. I shook the bucket of feed, and the effect was instant. His ears shot forward, and he bowed his head down as he looked at me. Suddenly, the picture of cuteness. You can tell I like horses.
Yeah.
I smirked slightly as I walked forward. I unlatched the lower half of the door. I reefed it open and lunged across the stall, tipping it into his feed bin. I ducked out of the way, backing towards the door. Unfortunately, I wasn't quick enough, and I felt a pair of teeth snatch on my arm, and I squealed as I twisted out of the way. My squeal scared the gelding, and he jumped back, tearing a piece of my shirt and taking it with him. I scrambled out of the stall and slammed both doors shut, latching them as fast as possible. I relaxed back against the door, resting my back against the stall.
Oh my
Door,
god.
panting slightly.
It's exhausting. Yep. I feel like I'm there with her.
You bastard, I puffed. I hate you and your horse. The gelding kicked at the door, and I jumped away, sprinting out of the stables.
Horse bites fucking hurt.
They do. Well, actually, I've never been bitten.
Haven't you?
No.
Sky got me right on the side.
Oh, really?
One time, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never been bitten, and I've never been kicked.
Sky's kicked me too.
Has she?
It's a rotten creature. She's a bit of a shithead when I got her.
Yeah, no.
She could go now.
Yeah.
She wouldn't dare.
No. Yeah, I've been trodden on, but never bitten or kicked.
Yeah, no, she kicked me in the thigh once when I was doing up her leg straps. Yeah, I know. Oh, I walloped her. She undone sense. Should have hit him in the head with the feed bucket. I would have sorted him. I couldn't do that anymore.
No! I was like, oh, we're going to get raped.
I'm going to get cancelled.
Look, the big animals, sometimes they need to be afraid of you.
To be told.
Yes.
Sometimes you need to come to Jesus. Sounds like our terrorist needs one.
For everybody's safety.
Exactly.
Anyway, I sprinted out of the stable, I think. Yeah, sprinting out of the stables. I wheeled around and raced out of the keep, my legs pounding the ground. My anger...
Do you think he's chasing you?
I don't know. She's just like a dog with the zoomies on her.
Go bring my horse!
Yeah, she's just zoomies. She's like, ah! My anger had fled to unimaginable levels, and all I could think of was Cain. As I ran, I prepared...
I don't think he's responsible for his horse biting you,
No.
to be fair. Like,
No. I have to wonder what the note was.
Yeah. What did it say?
Was it from Cain, do we think? Or was it from the stable master? Or
Who fucking knows? I mean, it probably said,
don't go near
Don't
him,
go
he's a
in the
lively
stable.
one.
Yeah.
Don't feed this one.
don't go in the stable, he will fucking bite you.
Yeah. As I ran, I prepared the mouthful I was intending to feed him. Okay.
Mouthful of what, Vari?
I wasn't sure where he'd be, but I figured Doc would know, and I had to visit him anyways. So I thought I may as well kill two birds with one stone. Well, at least I fully intended to stone Cain to death.
This is why Cori thinks you cannot be trusted.
I turned down into 5th Parade. I counted down the houses after I'd slowed to a walk.
So she can't read, but she can count.
Yep. Considering it was like number 62.
Yeah, it's a lot of counting.
Yeah. Would have run out of fingers and toes eventually.
Exactly.
I found the small house wedged closely in between two other houses.
That's usually what happens on a street.
Funny that. I walked up, that's all we get. I walked up the steep steps and knocked on the door. I was still panting, so I tried to slow my breathing down without much success.
I mean, you didn't have to run.
No. Maybe she was late. I don't know. The door opened and a kindly lady appeared.
I don't think he told her a time, did he?
I can't remember.
Didn't you just say, like, come down here tomorrow or something like that?
He said evening.
Right, so she's not late.
So she's very, very early. Yeah. Oops.
And didn't need to run.
No. The door opened and a kindly lady appeared. She was middle-aged, just starting to turn grey. She had a round face and small eyes, but they weren't ill-tempered eyes. They were narrowed by her continuous soft smile. I smiled at her and made a quick curtsy.
Oh.
Unusual.
With what?
Just
wearing pants.
I don't know. Is she? I've not really discussed.
I assume she was wearing like a tunic and pants.
Sort of same. I'm Vari. Doc asked to see me yesterday, I said quietly, feeling a little wary. To my relief, the woman smiled and stepped aside to let me in. I mumbled a thank you and hesitantly stepped inside.
I mean, when he did invite you to come down here, you'd think maybe you would have asked what his name was.
Look.
It's not his name.
Nope.
It's his profession.
I followed her down the short hallway. Those are just a bunch of numbers.
Interesting.
Anyway, followed her down the short hallway or something. Yeah, I followed her down a short hallway. She gestured me into a room and then left. I walked in and looked around, not too discreetly. It was a pleasant room.
Okay.
There was a large window on the left wall, letting in shards of broken light. Shadows were being cast by neighbouring houses. There were 2 large lounges, their frames made of dark mahogany. The cushions were a pleasant grass green, as were the curtains. Wait here, love.
I thought she'd
left. Oh no, sorry. She gestured me into a room on the left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait here, love. He'll be out in a minute, she said softly, nodding friendly at me. I smiled and nodded back to her. Once she was gone, I cautiously sat down in one of the lounges. The wait gave me a chance to clear my head and think for a bit. I sorted out my story. That stupid idiot Aldebaran yanked the arrow from behind, and then we were just there.
Yeah, you don't need to tell us what
No.
happened, Vari. We were there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know, maybe you could have thought about this on your way down instead of thinking of reasons to kill Cain.
Running, yeah.
And running.
And running. That stupid idiot Aldebaran yanked the arrow from behind, and then I had to put my hand over it because it started pissing out blood. The rest he would know already.
Deal.
I mean, we all know.
We all know.
Sure. I froze as a sudden thought occurred
Also,
to me.
you don't have to get your story straight. You just tell the truth.
Hmm.
You're not lying.
No.
What was the sudden thought?
What? I froze as a sudden thought occurred to me. What if they were assassins? What if they were disguised spies from Astra? They were probably sent to kill the captain of the guard. That would mean Aldebaran wouldn't be his real name. He wouldn't exist, which would make me a primary suspect.
What are you talking about?
I don't fucking know.
Where did you get... Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Why would you leap to that conclusion?
I have no idea.
Assassins? You think the doctor was an assassin? There was better ways to kill him than just like pulling an arrow out and hoping he bled to death. It wasn't even in, like, it was just in his shoulder. Like, I know, like, obviously when he yanked it out, it like clipped an artery or whatever. But like,
He didn't realistically know that was going to happen.
exactly, that's not a very good way to assassinate somebody. He could have been like, if you were trying to assassinate him, you could have been like, here's some medicine, and like chug some poison down his throat or something like that. Like, there's so many better ways to kill somebody.
What a wild leap.
Yeah, crazy. And why would anyone think that you were the prime suspect?
Because
You were just there.
covered in his blood? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Toria, I moaned, hunching over and resting my head in my hands, shaking it slightly.
Also, hang on, sorry. I just had another thought. Did she say Astra? An assassin from Astra?
Because we're in Ardra, aren't we?
Right, so this is the first we've ever
Oh yeah, we
heard
know who it is.
of who the enemy is.
Who the enemy is.
Like, it could have
Oh,
been
yeah.
someone
I
else
didn't think
on
of that.
our continent. Like, it could have been one of the other cities that
Yeah.
we didn't know was coming from the other continent. Like,
Well, I suppose they came by ship.
so?
And that, like, the Citadel, like, the Citadel is on, like, directly opposed that continent.
Look, I'm not denying that, like, but this is literally the first we've heard of that.
It is.
Like, it's the first
That's
time
the first time we've mentioned
we have mentioned
anything other than the Citadel, I think.
Yes.
I don't think
oh,
we
well,
even-
on Stellan.
Oh, and Stellan.
And I think, was there some mention of, like, over the mountains or some shit like that early on?
That was Stellan, I think, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I
No,
think something else.
Stellan's, like, West.
Southwest?
Mostly west, I think. I don't know. Where's that map? Oh, you know, like southwest, yeah.
Yeah.
Tyrone Mountains, yes, I do remember, or Tyrone or Tyrone or whatever they are. Yep. Oh.
Okay, well, that's, how does Vari know that? And that's new information.
Yep. I have no idea. Alright, well, here we go. Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. Oh, Toria, I moaned, shaking it slightly. How would I get out of this one? Vari, called the familiar voice.
I don't think you're in this one, Vari. I don't think
No.
there's a thing. I don't think there's anything to get out of.
No. Vari, called the familiar voice. I jumped up guiltily, hands clamped behind my back. Morning, Doc, I breathed, a nervous smile planted on my mouth. Doc smiled and beckoned for me to follow. I followed him down the hall to his office. It was small and somewhat cramped, but it felt cozy, and it relaxed me a little bit as my visions of being tortured in a dungeon began to subside. Just let it go.
Okay.
You reacted surprisingly well yesterday. I dare say that Sir Kay knows you his life, Doc said. Doc told me. Sorry, he did say, and then I scribbled that out.
Okay.
You could have just said Doc said, but sure. Doc told me as he walked around and sat at his desk, gesturing for me to take a seat in one of the rickety old chairs in front of the desk. I moved over stiffly and gently sat down, an awkward smile answering his odd comment. Did he intend to guilt me into admission? I wondered briefly before he continued on speaking. You followed my instructions to the letter, and I'm inclined to believe that we worked quite well together, and I have been deliberating the continuation of your presence in my service. He stopped talking and gazed at me intently.
He's been deliberating for all of the 30 seconds that it took him to ask her to come and see him?
Well, I assume since then.
Why did he ask you to come and see him then, if he wasn't intending to ask her to work with him?
Well, yeah, but I'd say like he's offered that and then he's continued to think about it, I think.
What a pointless thing to say.
Okay. And I've been deliberating there's also a lot of big words. I've been deliberating the continuation of your presence in my service. He stopped talking and gazed at me intently, and took me a moment to understand that he'd actually asked me a question. Eh? I said ungraciously. Doc smiled patiently at me. My wife used to nurse for me, but she's finding it too hard now. Would you acquiesce to taking up that's from Pirates. Would you acquiesce to taking up the position in her absence? He asked. I sighed frustratingly. Frustrated? Frustrated. I don't know. I've got frustrat and then just
wasn't sure at the end.
Fill in the blank. Yeah. I knew this had been a bad idea.
Why?
I don't know. It sounds like a good.
Yeah,
like you're getting a pretty decent in. Yeah. Doc, I'm a street rat living in the keep because I fought off some thugs. You'll have to use simpler words if you want to get anywhere with me, eh? Oh, she doesn't understand what's going on.
Right.
That's fair.
Okay. He's clearly an educated man, which is nice.
Yeah. I said, a small smile hiding my humiliation. Doc smiled and laughed quietly as he nodded. I frowned at him, confused. Would you like to work for me? He said then. Simple words made no difference, however, and I still found myself blinking up at him owlishly.
And now you sound like an idiot.
What? I blurted before I could help myself. Doc sighed good-humouredly and laughed quietly. I'm sorry, Vari, but I can't make it much simpler than that. No, I said, shaking my head. I mean, why? I know nothing about medicine. I can hardly speak properly. I cannot write. I cannot read. I live in charity. I wear the same clothes every day. I doubt I'd be the best nurse, I explained.
I don't think you need to dress well to be a nurse, Vari.
No, you do need to be clean.
Well, yeah. But I assume she's only not clean because she's poor.
Yeah.
Like, if she has a job, which she gets paid for, then she can buy some new clothes.
Yeah, she can be cleaner. Yeah. I explained, listing off on my fingers. To my surprise, though, he just laughed and shook his head. I know that, miss. I'm not asking you to be a doctor. I'm asking for you to help me out. I'll tell you what to do, he assured me. I frowned and bit my lip. I'd pay you, of course, he added. That got my attention, and I began to think a little quicker.
Aren't you already getting paid?
I don't know.
I mean, she has a job at the keep, right?
Yeah, but I think it's like for room and board. And food, maybe. I don't know. She's never had, although, yeah, I don't know.
She went and bought the drinks last night.
I was just thinking that, yeah. I could use, oh yeah. I began to think a little quicker. I could use the extra money. And there were worse jobs out there. And the doc seemed like a nice enough person. His wife too, assuming that the lady who'd answered the door was his wife. I sighed and shrugged helplessly. I sighed and shrugged helplessly. Such a weird, okay.
It's too many LY words.
Pauses more. Pausing briefly before making my final decision. All right then, Doc. Seems we have an agreement. I answered finally, a smile spreading. Doc gave an answering smile, nodding, as he clapped his hands together, presumably in delight. Presumably?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. I was gonna say, like, at least something's happening. It's not just like Vari and Cori.
Yeah.
Bitching at each other.
It is progressing the plot.
Yeah.
In
Some fashion.
Well, plot is probably a strong word.
Progressing the story.
Something is happening.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go so far as to say it's progressing anything,
No.
but something is happening.
Good. Let's go, he said cheerily, pushing himself up from his chair and coming around the desk. I jumped in surprise. All right, I stammered stupidly, cursing myself silently. Why?
Why?
Because you stammered?
Because you're surprised that he wants you to start right this second?
I mean, that is a little surprising.
Yeah.
But still, it's not. Okay. Doc paused at the door and turned back to me. Sorry, do you have plans for the day? He asked, brow furrowing in concern. I shook my head firmly, smiling as I walked over to the door. I never have plans, I told him with a smirk. Doc laughed and opened the door for me.
Still don't know his name.
No. No. You do now, he said happily. I followed him down the hall again and up a narrow flight of stairs I hadn't noticed before. We ended up in a surprisingly large room. It was lined with several beds.
He's got a hospital in a small house.
Upstairs?
Upstairs.
Like, that is the worst place for a hospital.
Yeah.
Like, why is it upstairs? You can carry those bitches up there.
Exactly. And, like, you don't have a lift.
No.
And also, like, she described this as a small house.
Yeah.
In between squashed between two other houses. He's got a whole fucking hospital ward up there.
Maybe it's just, like, really long and narrow. Like, you know, like Sydney townhouses. Like, they're, like, this wide.
Yeah.
But they're, like, super long.
Didn't she say there's beds on both walls, though?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. If it's that narrow.
It was lined with several beds, a large cabinet and a desk at the end. Most of the beds were occupied, as a result of the attack yesterday, no doubt, I thought wryly. Probably, yeah. We walked over to the first bed, and I watched as he checked the young man over. This time, Doc told me what he was doing, teaching me how to check the temperature, pulse, whether or not they have a concussion even, the proper way to detect a fever. I don't think those were connected. That's just my poor. I think that's just my poor grammar. After we treated the first patient, which mainly consisted of replacing bandages and dealing with things like shock.
Just dealing with shock. They're just dealing with things like shock.
Look, shock.
And that's how they treated him. Even though this happened yesterday, and he's probably not in shock anymore.
Well, see, the thing with shock is, like, one of the main ways you treat shock is with, like, intravenous fluids.
Well, no, not in this. Not in the fantasy world, you don't.
No, so, like, how are they treating the shock?
I mean, I think usually they would just, like...
keep you warm.
Yeah, wrap them in a blanket kind of thing and wait for it to pass and hope that they don't die in the meantime.
Yeah.
I think that was the treatment for
Is that dealing with it, though? Or is that just, like...
They're treating it.
Dealing with things like shock, which Doc had to explain to me. My mind was overflowing with new information. As we moved on to the next patient, I feebly wondered how I was supposed to remember everything. To my surprise and pleasure, Doc went over everything again, explaining it all over again, so that this time, some of it actually made sense. I nodded every now and then, again, as something suddenly became clear to me. By the third and fourth patients, he'd started to quiz me, gently reminding me the answers when I drew a blank. drew a blank. So my writing is getting really hard to read. Gently reminding me the answers when I drew a blank on the answer. He let me find one after... He let me find...
Find what?
Oh, he let me find one man's pulse, both in the neck and at the wrist. It was an odd sensation to be able to feel the blood, physically feel it pumping around the body. I don't know why, but it was an eerie feeling.
Was it?
I don't know. I mean, I am fascinated by that. I love feeling. I constantly just feel my pulse because I think it's cool.
Why?
It's just cool.
It's just your pulse. It's
No,
just it goes boom, boom,
it's
boom.
cool. I love it. I feel the dog's pulse all the time and the horse's pulse. It's just fun. Are you alive?
Presumably.
Everything was going surprisingly well. I was enjoying myself a lot, loving the feel of actually being useful as I began to aid Doc in his examinations and helping him dress wounds and such.
Really progressing quickly here. It's the first day.
It was until he... It wasn't till the... No. Sixth. Oh. Jesus. It wasn't until the sixth patient we came across. No, it wasn't till this we came to that trouble arose.
It was game.
Yeah, I assume so. But that's actually we finished the first book. Woo! So we get to start the second book, guys.
That's exciting.
So TB, I assume that's not the end of the chapter.
Yeah, presumably.
So I think this must be the next one. Yeah. So on this one we have more drawings.
No, more bad art.
More bad art. So Cori is on the cover this time.
Yep.
So we've got Cori. I think you're like it's better than the first one.
It is better.
Yeah.
Still not good, but it's better.
It's better. I think mine's worse. So that's Cori. And then mine's on the back with Vari.
I don't think it's that like she looks less like a doll base.
Yeah, yes. I clearly drew this one on my own.
Yeah. She's got a dagger. She's got a dagger.
And red hair. Alright. Ooh, this one's a bit worse for wear.
Dicky taped back together.
Dicky taped. Did you say dicky taped?
I said dicky taped.
Dicky taped. Alright. Here we go. Kane must have recognized Moy. Recognized Moy.
Moy, look a boy.
Look a boy. Look a boy.
Look a boy.
Kane must have recognized my voice from before. When I approached him.
What?
I don't know, from the other 3 times that they've met.
Or did he recognize it from the fact that she's been in the room for like 3 hours treating 6 other patients?
Maybe. When I approached him, his eyes were closed and he had a smug smile dancing on his lips.
Why is he smug?
I don't know. It took every ounce of restraint I had not to slap that silly face off him as my shoulder began to twitch in remembrance of... Why is your shoulder twitching?
Also, I don't think that she's cut out for the caring lifestyle if the first thing that she does when she sees this poor injured man is want to slap the smirk.
Well, she hasn't
his
slapped
face.
anyone else. It's just Kane.
Still.
As my shoulder began to twitch in remembrance of the events that had occurred that morning. What happened to her shoulder?
Yeah, and what morning? The morning of the attack? Or this morning?
Oh,
the horse bit her.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
God, okay.
Right.
Again, it's not his fault.
No.
That his horse bit you.
No.
He wasn't there.
No.
It's not like he told it to bite you.
You remember him. Good. A talent for remembering faces is always a handy advantage, Doc said brightly. Well, no, it is.
No, I'm not doubting that, but I'm like, it's not like she just remembered him from this one interaction they had yesterday.
No,
like,
exactly, no. But I suppose Doc doesn't know that.
Please give this man a name.
No, his name is Doc.
It's so lame.
Doc said brightly, laying out fresh bandages. I smiled sweetly at Kane as he opened his eyes and looked up at me with a skeptical look. How could I forget? I asked stiffly, glaring down at him. Kane laughed once, but it was cut short as a painful look spasmed across his face. That's what that says. We have to change his dressing, but that'll be all for him. You feeling all right, aren't you, Sir Kane? Doc asked, leaning over, checking for her fever. Kane nodded and smiled. I thought a little wryly. I've had worse, he replied. I snorted and rolled my eyes at him, but I couldn't help wondering about the origin of that twisted scar above his head. Evident.
Obviously the one you should not have been fondling
Yes,
while he was unconscious.
Yeah. Evidently, I replied with a droll tone, as Doc helped him up into a sitting position. Will you start taking off the old bandages, please, Vari? Doc asked me distractedly, as he got a bottle of alcohol and began to wet some gauze. I frowned briefly before reaching over and beginning to untie a bandage. Just a bandage.
Anyone will do.
I moved across and leaned over him to untuck a part of the bandage on the other side. What happened there? Kane asked. I glared at him for a moment before following his gaze to my arm, where a large patch was torn away from my shirt and some broken skin, not quite deep enough to bleed, but were red and slightly swollen. What? That sentence just got away from me, but yeah. He looked at the bit where the horse bit him. Yeah. I hissed and turned my gaze back to Kane. I had someone hiss at me the other day.
Genuinely?
It was a child, but they hissed at me.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay. I'll just...
Yeah, I mean, appropriate response.
Yeah.
You're like,
It took me by surprise.
Yeah.
I hissed and turned my gaze back to Kane, my eyes narrowing slightly as I remembered why exactly I wanted to stone him to death. Your nag went mad and is plotting to kill and destroy anything that moves. I snarled at him. He started to laugh, and I clenched my teeth together, trying to check my temper.
It was pretty funny.
I failed. Yeah, it is kind of funny.
I'd be laughing too with Kane on this one.
I reached across as if to untangle the bandage and inconspicuously bumped his injury on purpose.
Oh my god.
I felt him tense beside him. Me? Beside
me.
His laughter dying suddenly as he grunted in pain.
You know, if the doctor catches you doing that, you're probably going to lose your job.
Right,
so maybe don't.
I couldn't help the small smirk that graced my features. Whoops, sorry, I apologized airily as I continued to unwrap the bandage. Oh, well, I saw Doc laughing quietly out of the corner of my eye, and I wondered whether he enjoyed traumatizing certain patients as well, or if Kane was an exception.
Kane seems honestly like a perfectly nice bloke.
I know.
Like, I don't think he's done anything wrong.
No.
She just hates him irrationally.
I don't. Yeah. For some reason, I found the latter had much higher probabilities. It's a mighty big word for you.
Yeah, I thought you couldn't speak big words, Vari.
No. You might find your nag has lost a touch of weight. Either that, or he'll start eating us and gain weight from it, I said brightly, smiling down at him. He had his eyes closed and was breathing forcefully in and out of his nose. Sing to him, he mumbled. I frowned and tilted my head down to him. What? I asked, removing the first bandage and putting it in the basket. Doc moved in and began to clean the exit wound. I saw Kane wince and my expression softened, only marginally, but with it brought a blunt cover on my sharp tongue. Interesting. Okay.
That's
the way to say that.
Stretch of a metaphor.
Yeah. Sing to him and he'll calm down, he repeated stiffly, his voice cracking slightly. This reminds me of Cindy. This is where I got it from.
Yeah.
Because I had a crazy arrow.
She didn't try and murder people though. She was just...
Not intentionally.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she wasn't aggressive.
No, but she was
just
crazy.
dickhead.
And singing did used to calm her down. I used to sing Good Riddance. I
used to have to sing to myself.
To calm yourself down.
Yes.
His voice cracking slightly. I peered over at Doc, wondering what he was doing to cause so much pain. What I saw made me jump slightly. There were just
She's very jumpy.
Oh, I know. Oh, so am I.
Right, but like, I can see jumping in response to like a loud noise or seeing somewhat unexpected. But like, I can't imagine looking at a wound and going, "Ugh!" Like, It seems
No, I can't.
like I can see being like, ooh, but I don't know, jumping seems like a jump scare kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some things that sometimes you see that just you don't really expect it, and you just kind of go, ugh.
Well, you gotta tell me what he's doing then.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's so horrifying.
I mean, I assume he's just cleaning it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this seems like quite a reaction. Surely he's just wiping the blood off it?
What I saw made me jump slightly. There was a fine hole just above his shoulder blade.
Yeah, that's where the arrow came out.
Yeah, you've seen that already.
Girl.
It was covered with dried blood and swollen and bruised. Large, what? Swollen? Okay, it was covered with dried blood and swollen and bruised. Large purple and red masses spread across his back. Well, that's the bruise. Maybe I'm just surprised by like how widespread it is.
The bruising.
Yeah, like maybe I thought it was just like a wound and like you just cover it up and it's fine. But
because purple and red masses sounds like he's got fucking abscesses or something like bulging out of his shoulder. Like,
yeah,
that's why I was like, what? If it's just bruising, then yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
no, I think it's just bruising.
Right. Okay. That's fine.
I returned back to his front and concentrated on removing the second bandage.
The second bandage.
Yeah, because he's got one in the front, one in the back.
Oh, you like a dressing?
Yeah.
I'm imagining like a long bandage. And I'm like, doesn't that go like just the whole way around?
Well, it does, but I don't think they have just like sticky. I don't think they have elastoplast.
No, but
I
there'd
think
be like a gauze pad or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that for some reason I think they've bandaged them separately.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm not saying that is what you do, but I think that's what has happened
Right.
here. Doc. Yes. Yeah, sorry. I saw him clench his teeth as Doc continued to clean the wound. I looked nervously to Doc. None of the other patients had been in this much pain. I frowned. My thoughts were...
Well, what injuries did the other patients have?
We don't know.
Like, maybe none of them had been shot through the shoulder. That's why they were in less pain.
Yes, I think that is maybe what she's going to come to, but we'll see.
Like, maybe
she's new to the job, okay?
If you have holes in your body, then probably it doesn't hurt as much.
No one has taught her anything about pain management.
Or maybe Kane's just a big man.
Well,
pain
I was just a bit like,
yeah.
Maybe he's just a wuss. None of the other patients had been in this much pain. I frowned. My thoughts...
Not working.
My thoughts... Veering. My thoughts, sorry. Jesus. My thoughts veering down another lane. It was a possibility that Kane was just a pansy. I dwelled on that thought for a moment, but I decided against it. He wouldn't show such a weakness in front of me when we both know I would take full advantage of the situation. No.
Maybe he can't help it.
That's what I think she's coming. That's the conclusion I think she's coming to.
But like, if he's a pansy, like maybe he can't help reacting that way.
Maybe he's a pansy and he just can't help being a pansy.
Yeah. Like she's like, oh, like if he's just a pansy, then he wouldn't be showing it in front of me. Well, if he's
a pansy, he probably couldn't
help it.
Yeah.
Like.
No, the pain must be real. As if in answer to my question, Doc made a quiet tisk-tisk sound and slowly walked away deep in thought.
I wouldn't leave her alone with him.
I frowned after him and would have followed him had I not seen Kane sway out of the corner of my eye.
He's in bed, isn't he?
Yeah, but you can still fall out of bed.
I guess.
I took hold of his good shoulder and held him steady best as I could. He seemed all right after a moment, so I hastily finished taking off the second bandage and walked over to the doc, careful not to look at Kane's wound. Sorry. Doc? I asked as he took a small box from the cupboard. Now that I've examined the wound properly, I'm afraid I'll have to stitch it. It's incredibly red and swollen, and also has quite a lot of discharge.
That's what I was just thinking. These all sound like reasons not to stitch it.
Shouldn't stitch it.
Like if it's swollen and pussy,
leave it.
Let it air.
Yeah.
let it ooze.
Let it ooze. Discharge, he explained, talking in a low tone. I frowned and bit my lip. Discharge? I asked, not sure of the term. It's sweeping, like pus, he explained as he started back towards Kane. I pulled a disgusted face before following Duck. Duck, goose. Doc. You'll have to distract him. I can see you two get along quite well, he said with a smirk. I smirked back and shrugged as we came to Kane's side. I'm going to stitch this up. Tell me if the pain is too much, Doc said, getting straight to it, moving behind him. I was glad I couldn't see what was happening. I was never particularly squeamish, but I still didn't like the idea of watching someone so skinned together.
Okay, well maybe this is the wrong profession for you.
Yeah. I shuddered at the thought of it. Kane's sharp intake of breath told me Doc had started. I looked down at Kane's face, and I felt panic swiftly take me as I saw his paled face, eyes shut tight in extreme discomfort. I looked to Doc, and he raised his brow and nodded towards Kane, and I remembered I had to distract him. So, you want me to find your nag a bard then? Because my singing won't do much for him, I said, grinning and hating the way my voice shook. I saw the corner of Kane's mouth flicker. He won't mind, he replied stiffly. My brows rose slightly. I ain't going to sing to him. That's stupid, I told him, crossing my arms defiantly. This time, a smirk appeared on his pale face, and he opened his eyes to look at me. Then I'm sure you'll make a wonderful supper, he said smugly. I narrowed my eyes at him, my sympathy seeming to drain away rather quickly.
Seeming to? Or did it, or did it not?
I don't know. Why would singing calm him down, anyways? I can't imagine ye serenading your horse. I paused and put on a thoughtful face. Actually, I think I can, I said, and began to laugh, looking down at him with a raised brow. Oh. We're nearly there.
Oh, save me from this prison.
We're nearly there.
I can't take much more of this flirting.
Kane laughed quietly and shook his head, looking up at me. It's either singing or being a tasty snack. Take your pick, he said simply, shrugging with his good shoulder. My eyes narrowed and I frowned. Snack? I questioned skeptically. Kane smiled and nodded stiffly. There isn't a lot of you, he said, as though reasoning with me. I clearly wasn't getting on his nerves. Rather, he was getting on mine, so I decided to change tack. I'm curious, all this serenading your horse and that, are you a good singer? Or do you just yodel at him and break his resolve, bringing him into submission through the pain of hearing you sing? I questioned, smartly. Smartly?
Smartly?
I don't think that was smart.
No.
Tilting my head in question.
In question?
Yes.
Question?
Kane snorted and shrugged once more.
Stop shrugging.
I know.
The man is
He's
stitching
trying
your
to
shoulder.
stitch you up, dude.
Sit still.
I've been told I'm rather good, he said simply. I couldn't help but grin. At singing or yodeling? I asked. Doc snorted behind Kane. That wasn't that good.
It was not funny.
No.
At all.
At all.
No.
In any way.
No. No, it's just cringe. It's just cringe.
It's not even that. It's just blech. Doc snorted behind Kane, whose jaw twitched slightly. Now I was getting somewhere, I thought smugly. Right, finished.
So smug.
Jesus, he's finished already.
Lightning fast
Yeah.
stitches. Especially in this
Must have-
swollen, weeping
I know, he
flesh.
must have only put like 2 in.
Maybe it's only a small hole.
Maybe he realised halfway through that it's like, shit, I shouldn't be stitching this.
If it keeps swelling, all the stitches is going to pop right out of this.
Right, finished, interrupted Doc before Kane could reply. I frowned, disappointed because I couldn't continue taunting Kane. I moved backwards out of the Doc's way as he inspected the entry wound. I could see him frown as he gently cleaned it, peering at it and muttering absently to himself. I don't think we'll stitch this. We'll see how it goes by itself, he told Kane, smiling doctorishly at him.
Doctorishly? How do you smile doctorishly
I
at someone?
don't know.
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know. I have no idea. Kane nodded. The relief plainly visible in his face. Doc turned to me and beckoned me over. I came and he handed me 2 clean bandages. Here's the last one. Bandage him up and you can go. Will I see you tomorrow morning? He asked. I blinked at him, surprised that he still wanted me to come, even though he'd had plenty of time to dwell over it. Aye, if you want me to, I replied, a little surprised still. You said that?
Yes, you said. You're surprised, we get it.
Yep. He smiled at me and nodded once before leaving the room. I watched him leave and stared at the empty staircase, listening to his footsteps.
I feel like, after seeing 6 patients, She probably shouldn't be left alone
Bandaging?
to bandage
No.
someone.
Bandaging is hard.
It
and
is
if
hard.
you do it wrong,
It could be very bad.
bad things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like cutting off the circulation we were so worried
Yeah.
about when his shirt was on.
Yep. Yep. Do you mind? I'm cold. Kane's irritated voice cut through my daze, and I glared at him, my lips thinning. Poor baby, I said sarcastically, eyes narrowing in spite. Wuss, I muttered, making sure it was loud enough for him to hear. I saw his jaw tense, and I smiled. I finished bandaging him up in silence. When I was done, I headed silently for the staircase. Miss, can you please give this to the king?
What?
Is that
Is
Kane?
that Kane? That doesn't sound like Kane.
No, it doesn't sound like Kane. Can you please give this to the king?
And also, how would she...
Well, I suppose he knows she's working in the keep.
That doesn't mean she's going to be able to see the king.
No, but I suppose
She's a
she
stable hand.
could conceivably get it to him in some fashion. Throw it at him from afar.
I mean, if they're worried about assassins.
Yeah. I don't know. Miss,
I don't like that.
right, can you please give this to the king? I turned, brow raised, surprised by his sudden politeness. He was holding out an envelope and smiling at me. I tried to look for the joke or catch, but as of yet I could see none.
Also, the smiling is weird as well.
Again, I think that's just because I always have to have them do something.
Yeah, but it's just like...
Yes.
Miss, can you take this to the king?
This isn't weird at all.
It's just a fucking creepy thing to do.
Yeah. I silently walked over and took it from him. I nodded,
Okay.
giving him a brief smile, turning and walking out.
No, okay, or
Weird.
yes, or... What a weird interaction
Don't know.
that was.
I stood, and then there's a line break.
Uh-huh.
I stood in front of the stable, arms crossed, as I stared thoughtfully at the bay gelding who was charging at the stable door, lashing out with his teeth, ears laid flat back against his skull. Oh my god, I feel like I'm going to have more lyrics.
Oh no.
I wonder what song we'll be using. Can't hurt, I mumbled quietly, shrugging to myself as Antaeus kicked viciously at the door, growling surprisingly well for a horse.
I don't think horses growl.
I cleared my throat and started to sing. The first song that came to me. Oh, that wasn't a comma. I cleared my throat and started to sing the first song that came to me. It was called Drunk on Dragonflies.
Okay.
Whoever wrote was definitely drunk on something. It made no sense, but I sung it nevertheless. Thank the Lord there is no lyrics, and I did not try to write this
Oh,
song.
good. I am relieved.
Yeah, I was concerned about what was going to happen, but there
Yes.
is no lyrics.
I'm so glad.
It's just Vari singing.
Good.
The change was instant. Almost at once, he dropped his head, ears flicking towards me as his eyes peered down at me, all vehemence lost. He held out his nose to me, as though trying to nozzle me as I sang. I hadn't heard him come in, but his laughter reached my ears. I spun around and saw Bran, hands on his hips, brow raised, laughing. I glared briefly at him and growled before turning and stomping away. What?
Okay.
And that's the end of the chapter.
Okay, why is Bran always fucking here?
Well, I suppose maybe he's just shoeing horses and shit.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe someone's pulled a shoe. But, like, what was that interaction?
I don't know.
What was the point of that?
I don't know. And like, I get that singing can calm horses down. I don't think it's magic. though.
No, it's not instantaneous.
It's not like, you know, this horse is like lashing and attacking the stall door, and you start singing, he just goes,
Finally, someone's singing.
so finally someone's singing to me. Like, that's not how that works.
No, that's not how that works at all.
No. Well, that was weird.
That was weird.
Yeah. I
suppose we've got character development and like between Kane and Vari. Vari was softening towards him a little bit. There's interaction.
I guess.
Vari is now a nurse.
Has a second job.
Has a second job as a nurse, which I assume like that will become apparent because I imagine then she'll be involved in the war
I guess.
because she'll be treating the patients.
No, she seems to be avoiding any hint of plot.
I know. Yeah.
as aggressively as possible.
Yeah.
It just seems very, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's no point in saying how unrealistic it is.
No.
It's just,
It's
you
not.
know,
No.
like,
That is what it is.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. I guess. I don't. I don't know what else to say
No,
about it. Really.
That is what it is.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I'm trying desperately to think of anything interesting to say about this chapter, but there's really nothing
No.
there. Like,
No.
Vari and Kane's interaction was pretty perforce. Like,
Vari and Cori are now besties.
yeah, that's true. They
Hopefully that means we'll stop the
no,
ridiculous
absolutely not.
fucking
There's no way.
back and forth.
There's no
Maybe
way.
they'll talk about something other than Bran.
Doubt it. I don't think this book's going to pass the Bechdel test.
No.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yep. Alright.
Musical interlude.
Musical interlude. Oh, yes, that's right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're moving on to the part of the podcast where we talk about what we read.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about books that we read.
What we read.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I swear it'll get smoother one of these days.
Yep. What did you read?
Okay, so I have read Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. The
Oh.
first book of the Chronicles of Castellane.
Right. Okay.
So our old mate Cassie Clare
Yes,
has
I have not.
ventured into the world of adult fantasy.
Oh, it's adult, is it?
It sure is.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
It is a proper fantasy book.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's legitimate fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's,
As opposed to like the contemporary fantasy of the others.
yeah, and like the sort of young adulty, you know, kind of. I don't know. The Shadowhunters was. It's not Shadowhunters, put it that way.
Yeah, it's shocking, but yes.
Literally nothing like Shadowhunters. Completely different.
Okay.
If I didn't know it was the same author, I probably wouldn't have guessed.
Okay.
Like genuinely.
Oh.
So there was a couple of reasons I picked this book up. First of those was I did like the Shadowhunters books back in the day.
Yeah, the first couple.
They were fun. I had a good time with them.
Yeah.
I always found Cassandra Clare to be one of those authors who, while maybe not technically the best writer, was an entertaining writer.
Yeah.
I'd probably put her in the same bucket as like Rebecca Yarros and
Yeah.
you know the sort of more of the sort of modern romantasy kind of writers.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, groundbreaking, but it's good fun.
Yeah.
So I was interested to see what she was up to. I stopped reading the Shadowhunter books a long time ago.
Yes.
And I haven't read any of the newer ones. After like, you know, I read the first 9, I think, and then I quit. The other reason was I had heard that there's some controversy around whether it was plagiarized.
Yes, she's always got those
Yes,
Those-
it's a
controversies surrounding her.
yes, Cassandra Clare
There's
has
a lot of controversies.
had a few brushes with
Yeah.
with controversy, and I had heard that people were suggesting it was plagiarized from the Shades of Magic series by V. Schwab, which,
yes.
as we know, is one of my favorite fantasy
Absolutely.
series. So those are 2 reasons that I picked it up. I was like, you know, keen to see what she's up to and interested to see if A, it feels plagiarized, and B, if it's anything like Shades of Magic, then I'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
Disappointing on both fronts.
Oh, okay. So wasn't very good and wasn't plagiarized.
I can see why people might say that.
Yeah.
There are definite similarities.
Yeah. Okay.
Not least the main character is called Kel in both books.
It's a little on the nose. I feel like if you plagiarize that,
Surely
you'd at least change the
the
name. So
right?
that must be just coincidental.
Yeah. But they're both sort of, I guess, about an orphan called Kel who is kind of adopted by the royal family to be a brother / protector to the young prince. And they are both set in worlds where, you know, magic has either been lost or magic is failing.
Which are all fairly common fantasy things.
Like, I don't know if I'm convinced it's plagiarized. I can certainly see why you would think that on the surface level.
Yeah.
But I don't really... It's possible she just saw the relationship between Kel and the prince in Shades of Magic and was like, oh, I like that dynamic.
Yeah.
And kind of took that and ran with it.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, plagiarizing the whole book.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is lacking everything that made Shades of Magic so good.
Yeah.
The relationship, you know, the relationship between Kel. So basically, the story of Swordcatcher is that, like, Kellyan is a orphan boy, and he's kind of plucked out of his orphanage by the, like, captain of the guard or whatever, to become the sword catcher for the young prince, which is kind of a cultural role where
like a body shield.
Yes, but more than that, he actually, in situations where they think there's a threat to the prince, he plays the prince.
Yeah, right.
So he has like a magic amulet that makes people think that that makes him look like the prince.
Okay.
And so he's spent his whole life learning to be Connor.
Yeah.
So he's learned to act like him and talk like him.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the time he pretends to be the prince's cousin. So he can be kind of seen around with Connor. He's always with Connor.
Yeah.
But then when there's like, they think there's like an assassination threat or there's a tricky political situation or as in the case sometimes Connor is drunk, they pull Kellyan in and he plays Connor as the prince. So that's kind of his life. Like he was pulled out of this orphanage and made into the sword catcher, and he spent his whole life protecting this prince. And, like, she tells us that Kel loves the prince. I don't ever feel that Kel loves the prince, and that, like, she's trying to create this sort of brother dynamic between them.
She's always loved the brother dynamic, hasn't she? Yeah.
It just doesn't feel real very much. And to be perfectly honest, this book is boring.
Oh.
And I think that's a shame, because while I definitely think that the writing in this book feels like an adult fantasy, much more like the young adult fantasy that we're used to seeing from Cassandra Clare, I feel like it's also lost the fun. Like, the entertainment factor of her writing that I really enjoyed in those young adult books is gone. And it's almost like it's too serious now.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I was quite keen to talk about this book on the podcast is it feels like it has a very similar problem to All's Fair, in that it starts way too early.
Oh.
The vast majority of the book feels like the characters just kind of go places and talk to somebody, and then they go to another place and talk to somebody. And there's this sense that there is plot coming, but it's not here yet.
Sounds familiar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this book is 600 pages long.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like until the last, I want to say like 100 to 50 pages, nothing happens.
Yeah.
That like we couldn't have been compressed into much less space.
Yeah.
Like we are talking literally 500 pages where nothing important happens.
Yeah.
The relationships don't get developed. There's a lingering sense that there's like, this female character and this male character are probably going to get together.
Yeah.
Or like, there's kind of, hints that like, maybe Connor and Kel are going to end up like fighting over a girl or whatever. But there's no actual relationships. Nobody actually has real feelings or even real horniness for anybody. Like, there's no sexual tension, there's no lingering glances, there's no yearning, there's just nothing. Nothing has happened yet.
Yeah.
And so, my overwhelming impression of this book is just like,
meh.
Yeah, it's meh. And I was bored.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to be bored.
No. You don't read to be bored.
Exactly. No, especially not a 600-page book. Like, it's a long time.
I assume it's the start of a series.
Yeah. It's the first book in the Chronicles of Castellane. But it really feels like she started the story way too early.
Yeah.
And now at the end of the book, the plot is finally kicking off, and I'm like, right, you should have started there.
Yeah.
And you didn't need it. The world building is exhausting. There's just so much of it, and like, it's just it's just not very fun, and that's disappointing. So I don't know if I'm gonna read the next one. I might wait till it comes out and see what the reviews are like, see if it picks up. Maybe it's just like teething problems, but if it's anything like the first one, then like I can't be bothered.
Fair enough.
So what about you? Who have you read?
So I have been reading a book, Parasite by Myra Grant.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, so it is, I've spoken about Feed before, also by Myra Grant. So this is another one of her series. I can't remember whether she wrote it before or after Feed. After. Yeah. So its basic premise is, so it's set like, I don't know, like 20 years in the future. It was probably quite a lot more in the future, but it's been out for a while now. So now it's only like, actually, I think it's only like a couple of years away.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's like 2027.
Realistic.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think it was supposed to be 20 years in the future, but I think it's actually set in 2027. There's a few little kind of time jump things, but basically, the medical world has been solved by these sort of genetically engineered tapeworms that people eat, and that fixes everything. It controls diabetes, it controls autoimmune disease, it controls infections. It's like a cure basically for cancer, everything. And so it's one company that has developed this, and then so we're in, oh gosh, I can't remember her name. Sal is the main character, is Sal, and she has had a car accident at the very start. They all thought she was like brain dead. They pulled the plug, and then she woke up. Amazing. But she has amnesia, so she doesn't remember anything of her life beforehand. But basically, her life was attributed to the fact that the tapeworm had healed her. Essentially, they kept her on life support long enough for the tapeworm to heal like really, really critical injuries. And so it goes on basically. Unsurprisingly, things go wrong. It's kind of like, it's almost a zombie book, but it's not. They're not. She never calls them zombies. Yeah. But basically, all these people start exhibiting zombie-like behaviors. Yeah. So
because they have a parasite.
Because they have a parasite, in them, basically. Yeah. So I mean, it's no surprise. You figure it out pretty quick. So I don't feel bad spoiling it. But basically, the parasites are causing the zombie apocalypse. Obviously. And so I enjoyed it. I really do like. I don't know whether it's Myra or Mira.
I think it's Mira.
Mira Grant.
Yeah.
I really like her writing, and she does tell a good story. The pacing was a little slow in this one, I found. It did take a little bit of time to kick off. And there's a twist at the end, but like it's so predictable that I don't think she actually meant it as a twist. I think she was actually just using that as a device, like knowing that the readers knew what was happening, but the character didn't. So I don't think it was meant to be like a plot twist. Like it was so obvious that there was no way that that's what she intended. Yeah. But even so, it just dragged out a little too long, I think, because everyone knew from very early on what was going on, and the main characters didn't. But yeah, ultimately it was good. It's the first in a series, and I'll definitely continue. I've got the rest of them, so I'll
I haven't read the rest of them. No, I just read the one and then forgot about it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I quite enjoyed it. And I wasn't expecting the like another zombie book. Actually, I was like, oh, it's another zombie book, because she's like just written a zombie series as well. But whatever.
It's slightly different.
It's slightly different, like, and the fact that she is so she's a virologist as well.
So it's scientifically accurate zombieism.
It's plausible. Is this
which
scary thing? Like, there's obviously a part that's like, it's probably not going to turn us all into zombies. But the fact is, people are already taking tapeworms. Yeah. Like, I mean, there have been since the 1920s taking tapeworms for weight loss and things like that. So to suggest that this is a possibility is
Yeah.
it's not that much of a leap.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like genetic modification is.
Yeah. Exactly.
very
And I'm just
possible.
saying, if someone said, here is a tapeworm, if you swallow it, it will solve all of your health issues, I wouldn't say no straight away. That's all I'm saying.
I think about it.
Yeah, I think about it.
Yeah.
I'd look at it. So, you know. Lots of little tapeworm between friends. So, yeah, I think that side of it really makes it interesting because there's a lot of science in there, especially because, like, I know a little bit about parasites as well because it was obviously my job. So, like, even the medications that they're using, I'm like, yeah, that's probably what you'd use to kill that.
Yeah.
Like, so it was just kind of entertaining. But yeah, that's me.
Cool.
I really liked it. Parasite.
Excellent.
So that's us.
Yep.
You can talk to us. You can.
You can.
Believe it or not, you can.
If you
All
want.
of your dreams come true. You can talk to us any day, anytime. So you can reach out to us on email at whatwewrotepod@gmail.com. We are on all the socials, I think. I think we are on all... Oh, we're not on, like, Twitter. Threads.
Twex.
What is it called? I don't know. We're not on that one.
Threads or Twitter.
Threads or Twitter or
Yeah.
X.
I mean,
X
X
is Twitter, but Threads is different. Threads is Instagram.
Yeah.
We're not on that. We're probably not going to be, so don't look for us there. But we are on Insta,
Facebook, Tumblr,
TikTok, and YouTube at What We Wrote Podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, review, subscribe. That does actually help.
Yes, makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference getting the podcast out there. And it means that if other people are sort of browsing and they see those sorts of reviews, they'll be like, oh, well, these people like it. Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Tell your friends. Spread the word. Let us do our job. I don't know. I don't know where that sentence is going.
Help us. We're doing this for you guys, okay?
Yeah. And that's it, I think.
That's it.
So we'll see you next time.
Yep. See you next time.
Bye.